What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Countdown to Ultimate series, the series where we complete Smash 4 single player and the challenge board. And here with part 3, we are starting off with a character that we skipped in part 2 in that huge smorgasbord, Rosalina and Luma. And there are a few reasons I decided to want to do her solo, was because technically this was supposed to be the first time I do this, but you kind of already saw it with the other one because of how much I was jumping ahead. But as we know, the challenge is to go anywhere above 7.0 and just clear classic on 7.0. That's how you clear the last challenge. However, Rosalina being a character I have some special history with, as well as feel confident in, I feel like going in with an 8.0. Just to especially show off the final reasons for that as well. By the end of this video, it will all make sense. And also here where he will hum scream my Luma away, and so I take away his Master Ball and take this Giratina, is it? All to myself. I don't know if he's Giratina. I don't know the names of the Gen 4 Mon. Well, actually I do. Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. Is it Giratina? I don't even know. But, Dialga and Palkia, like, I'd be damned if I knew which one was which. But the deal with Rosa here is that, and the reason why I'm not picking a modded skin for this, is that, this is technically the first skin I used, because I went to the Best Buy demo for this game because it was in a town like half an hour away from me, as opposed to with Ultimate, where the closest one to me was, I think, in Austin, Houston, one of those major cities in North Texas, so it's not worth driving to. And I think the mall tour that they're doing right now is nowhere near me as well. However, I'm fine with waiting. It's a month. It was a month ever since they started doing that. I'm fine with waiting. I'm okay. I'll live. But anyway, when I went to the Best Buy demo, I played 3 characters. First off, when I went to the Wii U, I played Zero Suit. I played Zero Suit first. And then, as they were coming around with the 3DSs and I got to play Smash Run and fell in love with it right then and there, I played Greninja. And when I went on the Wii U the second time, because I went through the line twice, and only twice, unfortunately, but, well, we were already there for because I went with Jared, and we were already there for 8-ish hours. And so we were like, yeah, we're done. So the second round I picked Rosalina, and it was this gold dress, and that was the match I ended up winning. I won that round as Rosalina with the gold dress, and I've just had a special attachment to it ever since. And there was definitely a phase where, just in general, on For Glory, I definitely had a phase with Rosalina. I think I had a phase with almost every character at one point. It was just for the characters we covered last time, I know that I definitely had a phase with Luigi. I had a Peach phase. I had a Bowser phase roughly about 2 years ago-ish, because he was one of the characters that helped me win my last high school tournament that I was helping run. It was him and Lucina mostly, actually, because that was around the time that I discovered my love / Lucina / fell in love with my own creation that I made. Shameless plug to Vulgar Lucina. But anyway, so let me see. I know I definitely had a Bowser Jr. phase. I had phases with a lot of characters, actually. Zelda is a character that I like pulling out anyway, because people, I know that she's bad, but I'm just like, whatever. I like using her anyway, and I'm so excited for changes in Ultimate. But anyway, so as we were getting into, once you get above a certain percentage, I think it's after you get up above 5.5, you start to fight this thing, the swords. After 6.5, you start fighting, after 6.1, I believe, actually. After 6.1, you start fighting the dog thing. I forget what they're called. I forget the names of all of them, but then you start fighting the big guy, like the armored guy. Why do I want to say armored guy? But, the first phase, you fight him at the higher difficulties. And basically, if you go through the whole 7.0 with every character challenge, you will always fight all 3 phases. However, the second you go above 8.0, then this phase starts showing up, a Wii U exclusive phase, which is basically like, remember the Subspace Emissary is what I like to see it as. Basically a platforming challenge with these enemies. Like, those are, I forget what the it's not a bumpity bomb. It's not a boom stomper. I forget the names of what that is, but it's a flower thing from Kid Icarus Uprising. It's from the Forces of Nature. And then there are also Stalfos. And then that was a, what was that? Oh, that was a Kirby enemy. That was the Spark Kirby enemy. I was about to call it a Pokemon for some reason. More of the flower. Those are the Metroid enemies. I forget what they're called, but those are basically taken from Smash Run because they act the exact same way. They behave the exact same way. And they just put them in here. And those acid-looking things, I believe they do about 25 damage per hit. And they basically act like the danger zones in the Great Cave Offensive stage, where if you hit them after 100%, you're basically dead. So be careful with those. And the whole point of the Master Fortress, is what this one is called, is to explore it, destroy those cores, and at the start, and I guess Luma died right there. And I'm just waiting for Luma to respawn. There it is. And yes, there are 2 different mods for Luma there in play. When Luma dies, it's the Wilhelm scream. And when another one spawns, it's DJ Khaled. I just realized what I said right halfway through saying it. Yeah, that's the Spark enemy from Kirby, right? It should be. Because Smash Run had a lot of cool Nintendo enemies. It had Goombas, Koopas, Chandelure, Ghastly. Those Metroid enemies. It had Kremlings. I think it had not Bumpity Bomb, Boom Stompers. It had Boom Stompers at the very least, like the giant rock things. It had a lot of cool enemies. I really love Smash Run, and I wish a more fleshed out version was in Ultimate, but alas. That may be a reason to go back to Smash 3DS for me, is to revisit Smash Run, because I haven't played that in years. That was how I grinded my custom moves in the 3DS version. It was also my incentive to try out custom moves, because in this game you really don't have a reason to do custom moves in here. Whereas, at the very least on 3DS, you have the Smash Run mode, which allows you to play with any configuration you want, and you know, it's fun to mess around with customs in that way, basically. It's very fun in that mode. Because you can have free reign to just do whatever you want. And oh my god, the Wilhelm scream. But anyways, I guess grinding customs in the Wii U version, I guess I could have mentioned this with Diddy Kong, was that Diddy Kong was actually the last one I needed it for, and I can get into my grinding methods soon with Ganondorf, because I need stuff to talk about during a particular segment of his. But, you know, there's no incentive to do it here, so even when I didn't even have them all, but especially after I unlocked them all, literally all that I did with customs in the Wii U version was that I just went and got a group of friends and was like, hey, you want to mess around with random customs? And they're just like, sure, why not? Because on 3DS, at least you have the time to set up your own custom builds. You can't really do that on Wii U without wasting like a half an hour of everyone's time just to set up a bunch of characters that you want to use. However, you know, since we didn't have the time for that and we didn't have the patience, so we literally just said, hey, turn on customs, random. Just everything random. It gave us equipment too, but we were just like, whatever, it's fun to mess around like this. And since we have everything, we can experience it. And even though custom moves are seemingly gone in Ultimate, I like the idea of the spirits for like a single player mode, because in multiplayer I don't see them being used that much. But, you know, in single player they seem pretty fun to mess around with, especially since it's basically a revamped event mode. But anyway, as you saw right there, I just did one round of Master Orders with Rosalina. I just did the easiest one I could find, because that is Rosalina's character-specific challenge, is to clear one round of Master Orders. Or clear a Master Orders ticket is basically what it says. You can clear anyone you want. It's just in and out, just like that. Very simple. And then, as you can see, there I am going into the shop and getting a Rosalina alt trophy. I guess I had to show it once, but, you know, just, like I said, you should always see it in there. Maybe not if you do it right as you start the game, although I don't know why you're starting the game at this point, but I don't know, for me, they were always there, and so it was easy enough to do. There we are, going on All-Star on hard, because that's what the challenge does. I don't remember Rosalina giving me any specific trouble, although I guess I can go into this thing. Yeah, we have some time, but remember what I said about each round of All-Star has something particularly scary? I mean, the first round, what's the scariest thing here? There isn't much that's scary. I mean, the stage, for one thing, can be your biggest enemy in round one. Round one, I would say, is the easiest, which in 3DS meant that this was the last round and it was technically, you know, an easy end if you made it that far. But the thing with this is that, I mean, I don't know, nothing is really, especially since it's the beginning and you're entering with 0%, like, you're not likely going to die to anything unless it's something really stupid like that. I almost died there. Unless it's something really dumb, like, there isn't really anything that scary. There are annoyances, for sure, and you can rack up. Sometimes you can clear this round with less than 10%, sometimes you clear it with more than 90. And honestly, separating everybody is the best advice I can give. Separate, divide and conquer, that's how the phrase goes. Divide and conquer. But this stage is probably the most annoying to deal with, because especially in this form, the CPUs, even on lower difficulties, always know how to tech, and like, you can't kill them forever, and they just keep hitting you, and if you get into the center, they turn into metal, and it just, like, oh my god. The stage is the worst part of round one. Round two, there are a bunch of scary things, but most of them are at the end. And it's the Pikmin, not even Olimar himself, it's the Pikmin. Like, if he forward smashes you, like, it basically treats it as normal, because the thing with single player modes in this game is that knockback values for the enemies, like, for them, the knockback values are reduced. So, like, say, if I were to get hit by a full force of Ness's forward smash right there, at 180, it wouldn't kill me. It would barely launch me about as far as it would if I were getting hit at 0 by Ness's forward smash. However, there are some things that weren't scaled that way, and Olimar's Pikmin is one of them. And another thing is basically any of Villager smash attacks, well, up smash and forward smash at least, the bowling ball and the fireworks will kill you at normal percents, and it's very jarring. Oh yeah, I like that. Like, I think that's the reason why I put that clip there, because it's pretty much like, hold on, Duck Hunt, stay, and he stayed. Like, he just stayed there and let me hit him. Like, I literally could have just been like, stay, and he's such a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good dog. Let me see. So, actually, can I look up the rounds quickly just so I could know what I'm talking about more? Let me see. Because round 2 is basically the bowling ball, the fireworks, and Pikmin. Round 3, no, I need All-Star. Why did I type in Classic? In the last round, I can tell you it's Little Mac. That's the scariest thing. And maybe Game & Watch 9. But, you know, it's just the RNG has to really be out of your favor for that to happen. And I guess Spikes. I guess Spikes are also the same amount of deadly. Because that happened to me when I was recording Falcons. I made it to the end, and then I got spiked by DK, and I was sad. I was very sad. So, let's see here. Come on, Wikipedia. Give me what I want to know. Let's see. Okay, here we are. There's the list. So, in the Wii U version, I'm just going to focus on that. Round 1, the stage is your biggest enemy. If you get Pokemon, or sometimes, depending on your character, even Umbra Clock Tower, just reset and just try to get a different combination. Round 2 the scariest things are, like I said, Villager and Olimar. Round 3, Cloud with Limit if you're at a high percent, but he's one of the first ones you fight, so you should be able to deal with him pretty quickly. It's Charizard, for some reason. His side B, Flare Blitz, wasn't scaled. Wasn't scaled correctly, and so it acts as normal and will kill you absurdly low percents for no reason. And the only reason I'm complaining about it is because everything else was scaled down. So these things that weren't scaled down are just that much more jarring. And also, a quick word about Palutena here. I'm using customs because no one ever you never get a chance to use them. And I'm just like, no. Because I remember I entered this mode and I was like, no, we're not doing this. I'm going to turn on customs and use my main set. I mean, I didn't want to make another one and waste more time, but my main set basically has Explosive Flame, which is thankfully her new... Thankfully that got carried over into Smash, at least. In Smash Ultimate. I'm so happy that she got reworked. Then she also has Super Speed, which I'm just like, I probably should have just kept Reflector. Her down B is Lightweight, although I also would have taken Celestial Firework. Celestial Firework is pretty cool. But there's Super Speed. Her down B is Lightweight, which is extremely broken. And her up B is still Warp, because that's the best one of her recoveries. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Charizard's side B, Flare Blitz. That's very scary. In round 4, it is definitely King DDD's Gordos that is the most scary thing. Although the combination of starting off with Mennonite, Fox, and Falco means you get comboed hard. That seems to be the round where you get comboed the most, actually, for some reason, just in general. But DDD's Gordos were not scaled down. In round 5, it's Mega Man's Forward Smash, which, it's slow, he rarely does it, but if it does happen, it's super annoying because you die at normal percents to that. And Ryu I haven't seen Ryu do Shoryu once, or at least True Shoryu, to hit you, so I don't consider that much of a threat. Round 6, you start off that match with Link, Zelda, and Samus, and their synergy is insane. Like, they literally just, team combo you for days. Not as much as round 4 as a whole, but, I don't know, they really get you there. And then, Samus's Charge Shot is scary, but also Duck Hunt's Can is also scary in that one. And then in round 7, it's basically just Little Mac and Game & Watch 9. So as long as you watch out for those specific things, you're fine, but I thought the scariest thing was just Little Mac, but no, every round has their own scary thing, which I found out through the course of recording all this stuff because I died to every single one of them at least once. That's how I know to tell you to watch out. Oh yeah, and here I am turning on Lightweight with Palutena, and I almost immediately die for it. Well, okay, I did die for it. So let's see what I do with it. Okay, do some stuff. But yeah, you basically move around faster, you have a lighter jump, you get launched farther kind of, but the mobility is well worth it. And even the cooldown that you suffer afterwards, it isn't that bad, honestly. And it doesn't last that long, it lasts 4 seconds-ish. And the cooldown is 8. It's amazing. And here I am trying to grab her. She moves too fast. And I'm trying to do stuff, but sliding up smashes, those look scary. And then, I guess we can speak about this costume too, because this Viridi costume, I love, and on Twitter, someone made a Photoshop edit of Palutena's ultimate render to have the Viridi hair colors as well. And oh my god. Honestly, if there's one other Echo Fighter that I want in the game, Rip Shadow, I mean, he was the other one that I kind of wanted, but whatever. Whatever, Shadow didn't happen. But if there's one more Echo Fighter that, if Sakurai has it in him, that I want, it's Viridi. Because Palutena had all these really cool custom moves. Well, most of them were cool anyway. Heavenly Light is just useless. But Palutena had all these cool custom moves, and half of them got carried over into her new moveset in Ultimate. But what about the other half? And you know, in Kid Icarus Uprising, Viridi can literally do the same things that Palutena can do, in terms of like for a gameplay perspective. I mean, narratively it's kind of different, but in terms of gameplay, she can literally do the same stuff. And so, why not just give the other half of her customs over to Viridi and make her a Palutena Echo Fighter? And plus, she's another one of Sakurai's creations. You know, Sakurai bias is strong with the Kirby and Kid Icarus characters. I mean, that's why Dark Pit is even here. So why not? Let's do Viridi as well. Why not? I would love it. And, you know, in terms of the 5 DLC fighters that we're going to get for Ultimate, he did say that all 5 of those would be unique. However, I don't know. I don't want to say they should be free, but if they had it in them to make Echo Fighters free downloads, similar to like how Splatoon 2 does free weapons, I mean, characters take a lot more effort than a Splatoon Echo Fighters, I imagine, would take a lot more effort than a Splatoon 2 weapon to add for free. But even if it were just like $2 per Echo Fighter, I would take it. I'd be fine with that. Even, I mean, let me see, $5 per character in Ultimate, because the Fighter Pass is $25. Let's say Echo Fighters, $3.50 at most. $3.50. $3.50 per Echo Fighter. I would even pay that. I'd be fine. Because you have to support the development team, but you know, even if they were free, even better, but I know that they need money to support themselves. But, you know, Viridi is just the one Echo Fighter I would want. I can't really think of any others, really, that they haven't done. I mean, I feel like I wish they could have done more with it, because they introduced this whole concept, and we have, like, what, only 7 or so? 7 Echo Fighters? But, you know, if they could do more of them, like, I'm totally fine with that. And come on, Viridi. She's cool. She's one of Sakurai's creations. You know how Sakurai has a bias with his children, I guess. But, you know, that would be cool to see. Anyways, I don't think I covered it. Well, I covered Rosalina's, actually. We saw it in the video. But Palutena's, let me see, Palutena's character-specific challenge is to go into Target Blast Stage 2, if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, Target Blast Stage 2. And get 80,000 points. Which is the least amount of points so far that you would have had to done for a Target Blast stage, so it can't be that hard. Also, I don't know why Luigi didn't just forward throw me there. I would have been dead. And, you know, unlike other characters where I tried to use different skins for All-Star and Classic mode, I'm just like, nah, here. Because for one thing, I think this is my 4th attempt trying to do All-Star with Palutena on hard. Because I tried doing it with the Camilla skin, because there's one skin with purple hair and mostly black clothing. And I think it even has the thick mod attached to it where it makes her chest bigger. But, you know, it's based on Camilla for Fire Emblem Fates. And it even has a voice with it. I tried to do it with that. But, you know, it just wasn't happening. I lost 3 or 4 times. And I was just like, you know what, let's switch to Viridi again, because I love the skin, I love the character. Just go back to Viridi. Like, look at this. Look at this clip show. There's Medusa, there's Viridi with Phosphora. Like, that one's one of the best ones, honestly. But when I switched to the Viridi costume, first try. Like, just simple as that. First try with the Viridi costume, just simple. Done. Anywho, so for the next episode, I have decided, since for the next smorgasbord of 11 characters, I mean, for the past one, we left off on Sheik. And for the next one, we would start with Toon Link, because I want to put Ganondorf on his own, but I don't want to have to skip another character. So the next episode, and since there's an uneven number of these, I wanted to do alternating, but then I realized it doesn't work exactly that way. So for the next episode, you're going to see a character-focused video on Ganondorf and Captain Falcon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you'll stay tuned to the end, and I'll hopefully see you for the next part.